now out to tell everyone the story and why they're avoiding me. Because if they say yes to fight me, I was not going to talk about sparring because I can stay in the gym.
What happened with Daniel Dubois in the spar?
I broke his nose twice and stopped him. So that's not lie because he will never come say, no, I'm lying. Jojo's the same. You see the video I posted. So because I can't do it, I'm feeling bad to post some stuff like that because it can happen to me as well in sparring in the camp. But that's the only, please don't judge me wrong. That's the only way I can save myself.
With the Anthony Joshua spar, how do you kind of evaluate Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois?
Was big. But the first time I went to spar Anthony Joshua, there was a lot of people in the gym. And when I jump in, the first 4 rounds, and the coach take everyone out and they shut the door. And I was surprised next day when I came for sparring, there was nobody in the gym. Closed the door, only me and Joshua. 8 rounds. That was it. Good. You can ask Eddie Hearn was there. That was a fight.
How did it go?
50-50 that day. But that was a fight. And Anton Joshua come and check my hand. He say, yo, I never get sparring like this. And his coach decided to send some sparring partner away and leave only 2 person because there was more fight. Because they know I'm giving him a hard time. But that time, I was wanted to sell my name. But I can't say yes now to go and spy him anymore. No, I will never spy it again in the UK or all this top guy.
In terms of that fight, do you believe Anthony Joshua beats Daniel Dubois?
Easy. Dubois has got heart, but Joshua's got more experience. And Dubois can't take the punch.
So, the conversations of the sparring wars are finally coming a little bit more detailed by Martin McCauley. The more and more interviews that he has, he gets more in depth, on really what happened. Broke Daniel Dubois' nose a couple times. Joe Joyce, he did the same, stopped him or whatever, because as a result of breaking Daniel Dubois' nose, he stopped Daniel Dubois in sparring, Joe Joyce, he also put it on him, he says. Anthony Joshua, he said, was 50-50. And that was the first time I've ever seen or heard, should I say, that Martin McCauley said that, it was a 50-50 sparring. To let him tell it before, he had stopped everybody and beat everybody up. That's why, they didn't want me back because of what I've done to those guys. And before I counterpunch, well, this is the counterpunch. Keep in mind, someone like Martin McCauley, okay, he's heavy-handed, he's quick. And I think his mentality is to, go hard or go home. And I think once you do that, the higher-ups, the promoters, the trainers, nobody wants their fighter hurt or beat up on really before a fight. That's what the fight's for. You don't want a pre-ass whooping. Nobody really wants that. So, maybe they might have decided to do that, especially with Dubois or Joyce. Don't bring his ass back. You know what? No, send him away. He goes too hard. We're trying to work on certain things here. That's what sparring's about. We're trying to work on what we need to work on with our fighter instead of getting the piss beat out of him. And then we have to worry about damage and injury and all types of other stuff like that, like broken noses, right? So that may have been a reasonable explanation on why they never called him back. Okay. Now, I'll say this. As you heard him say, as you heard him talk about revealing footage, that's where it gets real interesting. Because he's like, well, hey, they can't say it didn't happen, but I wouldn't want to reveal footage, but I will, because I'm trying to promote myself. I'm trying to get these fights, and a lot of times if you expose, even if he had 10 seconds, because, in the day and world that we live in now, people don't have long attention spans. People don't even really care, on what happened in 3 minutes of sparring. They just care on what happens in 20 seconds or 10 seconds. And then once they see it, that's all they need to see. And then they're running off with, oh man, he was whooping that dude. He was doing this and doing that. But Collie could do that. And the more I think about it, the more I think that maybe he should. Because if he's not going to get the sparring time with him, right? And he does have footage as proof that he taxed those guys as asses. Oh, I would do it. Definitely. Why? Because it ain't like we never seen it before. Hell, we seen Joshua was that COVID season or a year after COVID season? One of his team revealed that footage of Joe Joyce when he was schooling him and boxing him and circling around him and boxing him and, and countering him and all that stuff. And, of course, Joe Joyce got pissed off because Joe didn't have a problem with AJ until AJ revealed that tape about him digging into something in sparring that didn't really supposed to be or get out, right? So, yeah, it didn't happen before from the biggest people. Does it happen all the time? No, but it does happen. So Martin McCauley wouldn't be doing like breaking a huge cardinal sin from doing that, especially if he had footage. So if he had footage, I think he needs to put his money where his mouth is and reveal these sparring sessions. But moving on from that, the 50-50 sparring showed you a lot too. Okay. And from this point on, as far as AJ goes, if he said he gave him a 50-50 fight, or a 50-50 spar, rather, I think we should take it from what he's saying. But if he comes back and then says, oh, man, I whooped him too, well, you just contradicted yourself. Okay? So this is more detailed. And, of course, he thinks that AJ's punching power will be too much for Danny Dubois, but we have to see next month if that's the truth or not. But you guys tell me what you think of Martin McCauley stating that he doesn't want to reveal footage because it could happen to him. Okay, I did leave that out. It could happen to anybody that you can get beat up or someone gets the best of you in sparring. But of course, he's trying to promote himself. So since he's trying to promote himself, he may just do it. But the most important thing is he states that he has footage. And I can say it'll go viral if we see him beat up on the current IBF heavyweight champion, Daniel Dubois. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.